All right, guys, welcome to the Whole Life Challenge, week number 4. This week's lifestyle practice is eating meals unplugged or without distractions. Now, this is something that I grew up on. I remember eating family dinners and, we had to turn the television off. Well, fast forward 25, 30 years later, we live in this fast-paced world and we always have our mobile devices on us. So this week's lifestyle practice sounds simple, but it's a lot harder than you would imagine, is to eat your meals without distractions. That means you're going to sit down, breakfast, lunch, dinner, whatever it may be, and you're going to make sure that that phone, the television, your computer, everything you have is completely turned off, and you can focus on just eating. And I know that may sound crazy, but you want to have these zero distraction meals, because if we're constantly on the go and we're constantly going, we never actually have a chance to stop and enjoy this meal, especially if we're on our phone and we're being distracted. So I got my 2 kids coming over here right now. We are in Maui. This is the beginning of our work/vacation here. Cannon and Camille are definitely enjoying their time. So a couple things I want to talk about with you guys. Obviously, we are getting deeper and deeper into this whole life challenge. And last week was probably my biggest mess up of a week, because we were flying, because we were traveling. We were prepared, but one thing led to another. And before you know it, I'm eating rice with my chicken instead of just vegetables with my chicken as well. So we have to reset. And yeah, we're traveling. Yeah, we're on vacation. The kids got a chance to have a pina colada, but we know that's full of sugar and syrup. So we had to go to the grocery store. And that's one of the first things you have to do when you are traveling or you're on vacation, is make sure you go to the grocery store to have those things. Make sure you get your exercise in. I had to get up this morning at about 5:30 in the morning because my wife is actually working on this trip here in Maui. So in order for me to go out and run for an hour or 2, I had to get up early enough that everybody in the house was asleep so that I could go out and get my run in, my 5 or 6 mile run. So lifestyle practice of the week, I'll keep it really short, is to completely turn off any electronics while you're eating. Now, this is extremely important for many reasons, but let's talk about digestion in particular. So you eat something, let's pretend it's a piece of chicken and a piece of broccoli and a piece of a sweet potato, and your body has to work to digest that. Well, imagine that I'm on this phone and I'm working and I'm stressed out, and now I'm chewing my food, and now I'm not chewing it down to the consistency of applesauce. I'm just swallowing. I'm swallowing these large pieces, and my food does not digest the way that it would if I were to concentrate and chew and break that food down. So what I want you guys to do is focus on chewing all of your food all of the time to the consistency of it being applesauce. One of the other things I want you to focus on is when you're going to drink water or when you're going to drink fluids. So we want to stop drinking fluids 30 minutes prior to when we're going to eat a meal. And then we want to try not to drink anything while we're eating. A little bit of water, a little bit of coffee, whatever it may be. But we want to completely place our food separate from our hydration, and our things that we drink, our beverages, whatever they may be, completely separate from the food that we eat. I want you to do that, and then I want you not to drink anything during that feeding period, and then I also want you not to drink anything for about 60 minutes after your meal, okay? So getting ready to sit down at lunch, have a glass of water. I don't eat anything during my lunch besides a sip or 2. And then about 60 minutes later, I go ahead and I can start drinking fluids again. So those of you just joining us, we're just talking about hydration during our feeding times, and when not to eat or drink liquids. Another thing I want you guys to focus on is not eating before you go to bed, right? Let's pretend we have about a 2-hour window where we're going to be vertical. Because as soon as we lie down and we've had a bunch of garbage in our system, it's really going to stop us from getting a good sleep, because our body is going to constantly be working. If we're drinking post-workout protein shakes, which are totally good, we want to make sure that we drink those within about 45 minutes of our training session if we are looking to lean up or lose weight. For those of you who are trying to strength gain or build, I highly recommend having that protein shake, that post-workout shake, immediately after a meal. If anybody wants to come in, jump in and ask a couple questions, I would love to answer some. Otherwise, we're going to get back to work here. We are in Hawaii. We're here all week long. Fathers of the Future Wednesday night will be here live from Hawaii. And remember, this week's lifestyle practice, for those of you following the Whole Life Challenge, is not to be on your phone or a personal device. It's to eat your meals completely unplugged. So you want to shut it down 100%. For those of you who asked the question about water, we want to try to drink about a third of our body weight in ounces of water. So if I'm a 240-pound human being, I want to drink 80 ounces of water a day. A little bit more than that is fine, but anything less than that, and you're not going to have optimal performance. I'm a big coffee drinker, so make sure you're drinking enough water with that coffee. I like to make bulletproof coffee, and I'll have to show you guys that sometime this week. And just write down as much as you possibly have on your health, your nutrition, your fitness, and your sleep, and collect a journal, because you can always go back and see what was working and what wasn't. Thank you guys very much. Aloha, Maui no ka oi, and have a